Hey crafty friends, it's Joy here with another lawn fawn video, and I created a pretty Christmas card using the stitched poinsettia dies. I'm starting by ink blending my background. This is an A2 size background. I'm using some distress oxide inks. This is salvaged patina, and we're going to do some stenciling. And I want to get this done now so I can set it aside and let it dry. I will be using the snowflake background stencil. I'm just using one of the stencils. There's two in here, but I'm just using one, along with the fairy dust stencil paste. It's clear, but it has all of this kind of glitter. It looks very frosty. So I want to get my, like I mentioned, my background done so this can dry while we are ink blending our poinsettia flowers. So let's reveal what this background is going to look like. Look at those gorgeous snowflakes. I have die cut 2 large, 1 medium, and then 2 medium and 1 small of the stitched poinsettias. I'm going to create 2 flowers. This first flower, I'll be using lumberjack plaid. I'm ink blending front and back. And that's going to be our largest flower. Then the second flower is going to be slightly smaller, and I'm going to ink blend that with festive berries. Now, you know, lawn fawn is known for their super cute critters and their interactive dies, and I love that so much about lawn fawn. I just adore all the critters. But I also wanted to share that they have some really beautiful dies that you can just make these really kind of classic, pretty Christmas cards. So that's why I decided to do this today. I used my distress sprayer and spritzed the flowers just a little bit. Then we have our leaves. I'm going to do 2 colors of green. It will be forest moss and rustic wilderness, again, distress oxide inks. And then we have our little center stamen pieces, and I'm going to ink blend that with fossilized amber. It's a really good yellowy kind of gold color. And so that's how I want my centers to look, is this fun little gold color. Then I've also die cut the word joy from Oliver's Stitched ABCs, and I did die cut that 3 times from white cardstock. And I ink blended it first with the salvaged patina, but then I decided to change my mind because it's not going to stand out from the background. So after I adhere these flowers, I'm going to adhere that sentiment together. I'm going to ink blend the top layer with fossilized amber. So like I mentioned, I die cut 3 times. I'm going to glue that together. That's going to give a dimensional sentiment. So here that is, I'm ink blending with that fossilized amber. Here's the other 2 pieces that I'd already glued together and then changed my mind. It just didn't stand out enough on that ink blended background. So having it the fossilized amber is really gonna pop. And then I die cut the largest circle from the stitched scallop circle frames from white cardstock. I'm gonna add a piece of 2mm foam adhesive around the edge so this can have some dimension. And this is just gonna help give us a focal point in the center of our stenciled background. And then it's gonna kind of give us a wreath look, but not a full wreath. So I'm gonna place that down right in the center. I'm gonna place my largest poinsettia flower at the top, my smaller one at the bottom. I will use a little bit of foam adhesive because I'm going to adhere it to the background, not that circle scalloped frame. Pop a little more liquid glue there. And then same thing for that smaller one. And then I can tuck those leaves inside. And I'm keeping the 2 colors of leaves together. I'm not going to alternate the colors per flower, if that makes sense. So this is the rustic wilderness leaves, and this is the forest moss leaves. I just like having 2 different colors of leaves and 2 different colors of flowers. Although I will say it's hard to kind of tell the difference between the lumberjack plaid and the festive berries. It's very similar in color. Adding some liquid glue behind my sentiment and adhering that to the back. And I think liquid glue makes sense in this case because you also have some of that stencil paste behind there, and I want to make sure I really have a good, nice adhesion. Then I decided to bring back in that fairy dust stencil paste and add some to the leaves and the flowers, just a little bit here and there to give a frosty look. And this will be adhered to a white A2 size card base. Let's do that to the other flower. I thought for a second maybe adding it to the sentiment, but I did not do that. Just to the flowers and the leaves. But look at how pretty that is. I love that stenciled background. Of course, those poinsettias are gorgeous. That scallop frame, and then finished off with that really simple sentiment. Thank you guys so very much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this project, and I hope that you guys feel inspired.